Introducing the Keyplex line of products distributed by Newport-Fersan Jamaica Limited. Keyplex Jumpstart to get your plants off to the right start. KP120 to promote root growth and plant development. 350 DP, chock full of micronutrients to maintain your crops. KP625 with micronutrients for your citrus trees, other fruit trees, nut trees, and corn. Plus Blossom Formula with chelated calcium, chelated magnesium, and boron for a wide variety of row and tree crops. The Keyplex line of products distributed by Newport-Fersan Jamaica Limited, the first on the land. Fersan in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions, is brought to you by Newport-Fersan Jamaica Limited, the first on the land.
Okay, so it's now time for Fersan in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions. This morning we're joined by Danavan Pryce, Agronomist, Research and Development. Good morning, Danavan. How are you?
Yes, I am fine. I'm doing well. How are you?
I am great. Good to have you on with us. And good to know as well, Danavan, that this morning we're turning the spotlight on, well, we have some edibles in this segment of the agricultural sector, but I'm glad you're turning the spotlight on ornamental crop care this morning. I know it's an area that you love very much too.
Yes.
All right. And we're joined as well by Murphy Gooden, who is Product Development Officer, also with Newport-Fersan Jamaica. Good morning, Murphy. How are you?
Good morning, Alti. I'm doing fine.
Good.
I'm doing fine.
Good to have you on with us. Danavan, I never take anything for granted, and so I want to start at the simplest of questions. What are ornamentals, and of what importance or relevance are they?
A beautiful question to start the radio show, Alti. Now, ornamental plants are plants that are grown for decorative purposes in gardens and landscape design projects. So you visit 90% or even more homes, you'll find some ornamental plants that are used as a design or beautification in those homes, in business places as well. And you check our parks, Emancipation Park, for example, is overlaid with a lot of decorative plants for beauty. Now, one of the reasons that makes ornamental crop production relevant, I want to try to focus the economic aspect of that. Now, worldwide, one of the easiest business in ornamental production is cut flowers. Now, cut flowers is a business that is done worldwide. So, for example, in Western Europe, they have over 12 billion in sales in terms of cut flowers. In USA, $6.9 billion in sales. Japan, $7.8 billion in sales. For Jamaica began exporting cut flowers in 2011 with a max tonnage exported in 2013 of 27 tons of cut flowers.
Wow.
And what that indicates to us is that there's a vast opportunity for ornamental growers locally to seize a slice of the pie.
Okay.
But as with any crop production system, issues do abound, and that is why we're here today to address those issues with possible solutions as well.
And one of the things that we must remember, Donovan, as we speak about the export market, any country to which we export, they are looking to ensure that we do not send any diseases into their country. So I imagine that the measures for ornamentals would be just as strident, or perhaps even more, than some of the food products that we send away.
Yes, that is very true. Yes, that is very true.
All right. Now, that being said, what are some of the nutritional issues that do affect, you would say, affect ornamental plant care?
All right. Very, very good question, Alti, and to our listeners. Now, plants require over 60 nutrients to enhance their productivity and development. Now, when those nutrients are absent or not provided in the right quantities at the right time, the right rate, and the right place, and from the right source, you have what we call nutrient deficiencies. Now, when we talk about ornamental production, one of the things that people look at is the beautification of the foliage of the plants and the flowers as well. When these nutrients are missing, then it affects the beauty that you get from your ornamental plants. Now, there are some key nutrients that when they're deficient, they stand out. And I'll just list a few for time's sake. For example, when we look at palms in general, when there's a magnesium deficiency, you find that the older leaves on the palms will have a yellow effect or a chlorotic effect. And as the condition worsens, this chlorotic effect will move upwards to the younger leaves. When we look at orchids, when calcium is absent, you'll find that the leaf tip, the new leaf tip will have a dieback, or the tissues become necrotic. In other words, the tissues die, and then eventually from the tip of the leaf going all the way to the entirety of the leaf, you'll find the leaf tissues begin to die, and that does not add to the beautification of the orchid. When we look at ixuras, which is also a popular ornamental edging that you'll find in most homes and business places, iron deficiency is one of those deficiencies that stands out. And iron deficiencies cause the leaves of the younger plant, the younger leaves of the plant to turn chlorotic or yellow. And as that deficiency worsens, the leaves can eventually turn white, and it spreads all the way to all the older leaves of the plant. We have the Nora grant, which is also, some people would call it a type of ixura as well, but it's different in physiology. But phosphorus deficiency is one of those deficiencies that stands out. Symptoms appears on the older leaves of the shoot, and you'll find irregular brownish blotches, similar to iron rust, appearing on the leaves of the plant. So these are just some of the key nutrients that, when they are absent and when they are not provided in the right quantity, right time, right rate, right source, you find that the plants suffer from these deficiencies and affect the overall productivity of the plant. So there's a law in nutritional management, I'll tell to our listeners, that we call law of the minimum. And it states that when one of these nutrients that the plants need are missing, it will affect the entire productivity. So whether it's a micronutrient, if one single nutrient. So for example, if you provide all 18 nutrients and leave out just the one, that makes it the 19, you'll find that one nutrient affects the productivity of your ornamental plants. And so therefore, a balanced nutritional system is required for any cropping system.
All right, excellent. I just love how this information rolls off your tongue, Danavan. I have Pauline Levy standing by, but before we get to her, let me just find out from you, what are some of the major pests and diseases affecting ornamentals? Or perhaps it's up to you if you prefer to have her go before you tell us that.
Okay, well, we can go through it now. No
All
problem.
right, go ahead.
Yes. So there are some key economical pests and disease of importance in ornamental crop production. Trips is one of those pests, and what they do, they feed on the sap of the plants. Now, when they damage the surface of the leaves of the plant and begins to remove or extract that sap, it causes the leaves to curl. Yes, and in some cases, as the feeding progresses, it causes stunted growth, and it can cause discoloration of the leaves as well. Then you have mites also, which also feeds similar to the trips in terms of they feed on the sap of the plants, and they also affect the overall growth and development of the plant. Whiteflies is easily one of the most common nutrients for ornamental growers. And they also feed on the sap of the plants and cause the leaves to curl, stunted growth, and they can also transmit viruses, which I'll touch on in a few. Now, aphids is a sucking insect, but aphids is renowned to be one of the vectors that transmit viruses from one plant to the next. Now, there's a reason why I mentioned viruses, because in a lot of circles, persons will talk about fungi, bacterial infections and not mention sometimes the viral infections that do affect ornamental growers. So, for example, in orchids, one of the most prevalent virus infections that affect orchids is the Cymbidium mosaic virus. And what that does, it causes reduce in the vigor of the plant, the growth and development of the plant. It also lowers the flower quality of the plant as well. In Phalaenopsis and Cattleya, you have one of the symptoms of a viral infection is a downward leaf curling. So the leaves tip downward and they begin to curl. These are some of the signs of a viral infection that does affect some of these plants. And then we have in terms of other ornamentals such as rose, research has found over 50 viruses that can be transmitted through these plants. We have chrysanthemum, which is also a next ornamental, a popular ornamental plant right across the world, where scientists have also seen where over 30 different viruses can be found in these plants. Orchids, over 30 as well, different viruses are transmitted through orchids, and these affect the plants. Now, one of the things that stands out is that some plants are asymptomatic when it comes to viruses. So persons might not see the symptoms right away, but an experienced ornamental grower will notice that the growth and the vigor of the plant is reduced when compared to a very healthy plant. And so these are some of the issues in terms of pest and disease. And when you talk about Duranta gold, you have the leaf spot, the fungal leaf spots, those black spots that do appear on the leaves, and other ornamental plants, even orchids as well. And so these pest and disease issues do affect the productivity on the grower side, and also the economic loss at the back end. And so these are some issues that cannot be avoided when doing ornamental production.
All right, so and it's always good to hear from the growers themselves what is happening. So we're going to bring Miss Levy in. This is Pauline Levy. Miss Levy, good morning and welcome to Farm Talk. How are you?
Morning to you and your listeners.
Good.
Morning, Danavan.
Morning, Miss Levy.
Good to have you on with us. Let me find out how you started in ornamental production. How long have you been in?
Oh boy, probably about 40 years.
Oh, that's a long time. So you're one of those persons that Danavan is talking about who has a wealth of experience.
I do. Started off first just buying a plant and looking at it. I thought it was extremely expensive, but I thought further into it, saying that, it would last me a longer time than the ones the cut flowers I was just buying.
Okay.
So it did start like that, and then eventually it multiplied, got into what I would call a disease, an addict, because once you buy one, you need another one, and you need another one, and you need another one, and they're all so different.
Yes.
That's one of the things is that you think you have the same plant, but you never do.
So each plant is
something that is always different. Each bloom is always different.
Each plant, each bloom, there's something else for you to note. What types of ornamentals do you currently cultivate, and what are some of the issues you've been experiencing growing these?
I am really an orchid grower, and my niche is Phalaenopsis. I grow everything else. I was into everything else, doing people's gardens with the sun-loving ones that they like now. But then for me, it was getting more and more and more into more work for me to do. And therefore, I found that the growing Phalaenopsis for me was better, because what I found I could do was decorate offices, I decorate the hospitals, I decorate the restaurants, I do hotels, I do the homes, I do all of these things with the Phalaenopsis that I grow, and I find that people really enjoy it, and for me it's a stress relief. You go in there and I'll say, remember yesterday, today, nor tomorrow, and it's just your time by yourself. And I find that people do like that.
Well, it's one of those areas clearly where when they talk about just doing something that you love, you don't work a day in your life. So I imagine that's the kind of experience you're having with the plants. We're on the break.
It's a passion.
Yes, so I need to clear the commercials. And then when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about the solutions that you have been using from Newport-Fersan to address some of the challenges you face.
You're listening to Power106FM. The time is now
6:30.
Miss Betty, early blight take over my tomato. And me paper full of powdery mildew. What me I go do? Clear way. Oh, you are tell me fi clear way. When you think me and your friend?
No, Mas Kelso. May I tell you to use Clearway from Newport-Fersan, Jamaica. It is a contact and systemic fungicide with protective and curative actions against a wide range of fungal diseases such as anthracnose and early blight in tomato, purple blotch in onion, late blight in potato, leaf spot in peanut, powdery mildew in pepper, and much more.
Thanks, Miss Betty. You're really my friend. Me call me Newport-Fersan rep right now. Can't forget that name there. Clearway.
Clearway. Farmers, get your supply today. Another premium product from Newport-Fersan, Jamaica Limited.
We're inside the feature Fersan in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions. And this morning, our focus is on ornamental crop care. We have Danavan Pryce, Agronomist, Research and Development. We also have Murphy Gooden, who is Product Development Officer. And at this time, we're speaking with Pauline Levy, who has been growing ornamentals for over 40 years. And of course, Mrs. Levy, I want to find out from you some of the solutions that you have used to date from Newport-Fersan to address the issues.
Okay, my first product, and I really, really enjoy using this one, is called Plant Start. Plant Start has helped me so much with my rooting system. And of course, if you know you don't have strong roots, good roots, it doesn't make sense to have anything else because everything starts from there. And Plant Start has really, really, really been a great product from Newport-Fersan. I also use their Flower Premium, which I use to promote the blooms when it's blooming time and so for my orchids. And I get a really good supply of floriferous blooms from this product. My other product that I use is Clearway. I heard you advertising it a while ago. When they first told me about Clearway, said, my God, you've really gone Jamaican. But Clearway is great for fungus, and it helps, a lot of times some of my clients, or even some of the other people who just growing orchids say, boy, Pauline, I have these black spots, and I don't know what it is. I say, well, you have a fungus, and you need to move the plant away from the other one and make sure you go and buy some Clearway. I've found that Clearway helps not only with my orchids, but everything else that is around. A lot of people grow palms, and they tend to have and put the orchids on the palms and everything like that. And it helps with that as well. So Clearway has really been a new product as far as I'm concerned. I don't know about anybody else, but it really has helped me with the fungus, especially in the rainy season here now. You have to protect your plants as much as possible from these funguses.
All right. Thank you so very much for sharing with us this morning. Looking for more conversation with you as we move forward. And by the way, someone has said thank you, telling us thanks for the fact that we're doing this morning and saying good morning, Mrs. Levy. Clearly this person knows you. All right. So thank you so very much.
Bye. Okay. Have a great day.
All right. You too. All right. And we do have we're going to get another lover of ornamentals to come on and share their story with us. But Danavan, in the meantime, and Murphy, don't think I've forgotten you. I have special tasks for you to undertake. But this person who sent the greetings for Mrs. Levy's, they're in their element this morning because they had asked us to do something on the horticultural side of agriculture, and they wanted to know about the use of the different chemicals to use from pests to fertilizers, different soils, just like food and animals, and as well the business aspect. This person wants to start a flower shop. So saying here, thank you for the program. It's like I'm at agricultural school. So in their element this morning. All right, and let us go now to Ms. Curry. And this is Beverly Curry, who is also, and I hope I have it right. Is it Corey or Curry? Miss Bev?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What is the last name? I want to make sure I get it right.
Corey.
Corey. All right. So I got it right. All right. So good morning to you and welcome to Farm Talk. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. How long have you been in ornamental production?
That's about more than 10 years.
Okay. And what got you interested in getting into this line of business? I don't know if it's a business or it's a hobby, but either way, you're in it.
It's business stroke hobby.
Okay. All right. Good. But why did you decide to go down this road?
Well, I always loved plants. I grew up with a mother who always had a garden. And my father did some farming also.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm from St. Elizabeth, and plants and beautiful things are just what keeps me happy, and some of what keeps me happy and get things going.
Okay. And of course, helps to transport you. I know how I feel when I'm out in the garden. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it the way that you're doing it. But what type of ornamentals do you currently cultivate, and what are some of the issues that you have been experiencing with these?
Okay, well, I mostly do orchids.
Okay. What types?
Sunbanders, etc. Right? I also have a little of all plants, I think.
Okay.
Right, but my special love are the orchids.
Right. I don't know. They don't do well with me. So maybe I need to come to you for some advice. But tell us about some of the issues that you face in growing them, whether with pests or diseases.
Well, growing them, like initially, when I got the bare roots, if I bought 50, I might have had like 30 staying alive, right?
Okay.
And other than that, sometimes because of fungus and insects, right? And maybe fertilizing also.
Okay. And what are some of the solutions that you were introduced to by Newport-Fersan to help you address these issues?
Well, I speak firstly about initiator.
Right.
Especially as it relates to my bare root orchids. Right. My first experience with initiator several years ago was so excitable about the positive results, especially in my sunbanders, that I shared that with all my friends and all the persons I knew who grew orchids. Initiator allowed me to maybe lose just one or two plants, especially the bare roots, right? Because, it allows for powerful growth. With roots, the roots become powerful, thus then you have the buds or the spikes, as we call it, coming up. So that I know works very well for me. I use it on all my orchids, but specifically the new orchids, the baby orchids.
All right. And of course, you've found those results to be good. And as you say, you've passed on the information
yes.
to...
I think my niece introduced it to me when it just came to Fersan, right? And
you've been using it ever since.
Amazing.
So it's one that you'll continue to use. Ms. Corey,
definitely.
I have to leave it there, but thank you so very much for sharing with us. And I bless you. Continue to do what you've been doing. Clearly, you're doing this for the love of it. And that's always a good place to start.
Well, definitely.
All right.
Definitely.
All right. Take care. Thanks much, Beverly Curry there. And we're going to turn the spotlight now on Murphy Gooden, because Murphy, you've been waiting a while to have conversation with us. By the way, Danavan, the person does say I'm also from St. Elizabeth and I'm in my element this morning. So clearly enjoying this conversation that we're having. Very happy to be sharing this information. Murphy, let me bring you in. You have been silent for much of this conversation. What are some of the techniques and strategies that as a company you have been using to advocate for and assist our farmers within terms of the management of ornamentals?
Okay, now, in terms of the nutrient management, As Danavan would have pointed out, different crops require different nutrients at different stages of development. Now, when you take a look at the early establishment phase of plants, products that we would have implemented to our ornamental growers would have included the mega garden, we have the jump start, the plant start, the first organic starter, and also Corey would have mentioned
Initiator.
Yeah, man. Yes, that as well is also excellent in terms of early establishment of plants. Now, all these products that I basically mentioned, one key aspect of them all is that they are all rich in phosphorus, and phosphorus is needed for root development. When we take a look at the vegetative development of plants, we have products such as the Growth Premium, we have the first organic Nitromax, and also the Mega Garden. And for the flooring aspect, we have the Mega Garden, the Flower Premium, and also the Initiator Premium as well. Okay. And for our growers who grow lawns, we also have the Mega Grass and also the Nitrosol. And when we look at the pest and disease management for fungal infestation, we have the Clearway, the
Enigma Danavan is saying.
And Eradicate. Yeah. Thank you, Danavan.
Okay.
Yeah. And these products are excellent in controlling leaf spots, such as the Cercospora leaf spot and the Septoria leaf spot. These are also good in controlling the Fusarium wilt and the Verticillium wilt. Now, for our pests and insects and mites, we have the sucker, which is excellent in controlling aphid, thrips, mites, and whitefly. The Spectra, which is excellent in controlling worms, mites, aphid, leaf miners, and leaf hoppers. The one key thing about the Spectra is that it contains translaminar effect, which means that when it is sprayed onto the plant, it basically moves from the side that was sprayed to the underside layer where most pests tend to be found. And we also have the First Strike, which is also excellent in controlling pests that is of the Lepidoptera family. Now, at this time, I just want to give the attention to the first viricide on the island. Now, the name of this viricide is Star, and Star is an organic viricide containing the active ingredient plant extract concertia, which means that because this is organic, it is very difficult for viruses to develop resistance against them. And Star is not only effective against the leaf curl virus or the leaf roll virus, it is also effective in controlling the Cymbidium mosaic virus. Right now, Star again is basically a preventative and a control, and what it does is basically engulfs the virus, preventing it to access food, therefore rendering it inactive. So, no doubt we have heard our ornamental growers cry. We have the solutions, and we are ready to help out here.
Excellent, excellent. Let me bring Danavan back in. Danavan, anything you want to add to what Murphy just shared? And then we want to move on to the whole issue of field appraisals and how important these are in terms of ornamental production and care.
Yes, I like to draw emphasis to the Star that Murphy has outlined. And it's a very unique product in our landscape now, because over the years there has never been a viricide that attends to the viral infestations that do affect a wide range of crops. And Newport-Fersan has done their work. We have done the research over a number of years with the product, and we're bringing it to market to address some of these issues that our farmers in their different crop categories face in terms of viral infestations. Let me add, as I always say, that Newport-Fersan is not in the business of hiding good news. Yes, and this is a great news out there, Star, and I mean, it is a product that every farmer should have, because viruses affect a wide range of crops. With that said, though, you mentioned a listener who wanted to start their flower shop.
Right.
Now, one of the things that we do at Newport-Fersan is a field appraisal. So let's say they start up the flower shop and they want to have a good nutritional and pest and disease management. We can come by, we can assess their system, we can make the recommendations. As a matter of fact, we also outfit our customers with complementary nutrient and pest and disease management programs, which is our AMS, Agriculture Management System programs, that covers all the steps that you need in terms of nutritional, from the establishment phase of the flowers to the vegetative to the flowering stage of the flowers, as well as we look at the pest and disease as well. We also do training sessions out here, not only for formal training sessions via Zoom or at outlets across the island, but we also do informal where we go out into the field. We'll come where you are, and if you have your workers and if there's a group, we can come and we can do trainings that we talk about the intricacies of ornamental production. And so these are some of the services that we offer here at Newport-Fersan to all our farmers in their different respective crop categories.
Excellent. So it doesn't. One of the good things, of course, is that the products that you have spoken of, you use them for both food and ornamentals, and some of the ornamentals are food. I saw where Theo Kingston was pointing out a little bit earlier on through a message that he sent us that you have a number of these plants that are actually edible, and that is so true. He says, pretty looks isn't all, health more than wealth, roses, hibiscus, bougainvillea, shamrock, ixora, many others, all edible and valuable. Before you leave us, though, Danavan, there is one question here. There's another listener who's saying, good morning. I'm also very happy about this program. Where can I get most of these products?
All right. So depending on your location, most of our products are in the farm stores. In the case where that they need to reach out to us, they can give us a call at 967-5815, or they can email us at info@newportfersan.com. So let me just repeat that again. So you can reach out to us by telephone in terms of getting those products, 967-5815, and at our email address at info@newportfersan.com.
All right. And I'm past my break, but I know you have a Zoom training coming up, so just tell me quickly what that is.
Yes, I don't know if you're a lover of sweet corn.
Oh, yes.
But, great. So you might be wondering, how is it that the sweet corn comes from the field to your plate? So we're going to be having a Zoom training session on the intricacies of sweet corn production. We're going to be looking in detail in the production system of sweet corn and the issues that sweet corn farmers face in their production, and we also look at the solutions as well coming out in that training sessions, and that will be on this Wednesday at 7 p.m. None other by Nigel Panton, who is the agronomist for St. Ann, Clarendon, and then Catherine. And so he'll be on, and I'm inviting every single farmer, whether you grow sweet corn or not, just to come out and listen. Good to get knowledge, and they say that knowledge is power, and then knowledge leads to understanding, then wisdom in your various crop production systems. So, yes, Althea, that's me right there.
Blessings. Thank you so very much. I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation with you all this morning. Thank you very much, Danavan and Murphy.
Yes, well, thank you.
All right, take care. Danavan, Pryce, Agronomist, Research and Development, Murphy, Gooden, Product Development Officer, and we had participating this morning as well in the conversation, Pauline Levy and Beverly Curry, who are ornamental growers.
Fersan in the Field, Real Issues, Real Solutions, was brought to you by Newport-Fersan Jamaica Limited, the first on the land.